of achieving split frequency operation is using the VFO-B as well as VFO-A. Now this can get quite confusing, I find. Almost counterintuitive how they've done this, or certainly certain aspects of it. This little area on the panel here by default shows VFO-A with a green LED and a red LED illuminated. That means that transmission will occur on the VFO-A frequency. If I press the A/B button, you can see the frequency changes. Now VFO-B is set to 21285, or near as makes no odds. But strangely enough, the display still shows VFO-A. So I'll change that frequency to something a bit different. And I'll go back to VFO-A and change that to, say that. So we've got VFO-A 432345 and VFO-B 432350. If I press split there, it's now in split frequency operation. It does show me VFO-A is 432345 and VFO-B is 432350 USB, and it says split there. You'll also notice that the VFO-A green LED is still on, and now the VFO-B red LED is on, meaning VFO-A is receive and VFO-B is transmit. So when I hit the push to talk button, it will transmit on 432350, and when I release the PTT, it will be receiving on 432345. To cancel this mode of operation, we can just press split and it goes back to VFO-A transmit and receive. Just go back into split. As before, VFO-A is receive, VFO-B is transmit. If I press A/B again, it swaps them over, but not how you think. It puts the VFO-B frequency in VFO-A and the VFO-A frequency in VFO-B. Like so. I would expect the LEDs to change up here, but they don't. It swaps the frequencies over instead. You can listen to the transmit frequency, in this case VFO-B, for a short moment by holding the TXW button down, and you can hear the other frequency. I'll just change the frequencies so it's easier to hear that. I'm not going to transmit, but just to demonstrate the idea. In this situation, my transmit frequency is VFO-B, which is 7.147, and my receive frequency is VFO-A, 7.162, and I'm receiving now, and if I were to press the push to talk button, it would transmit on 7.147. If I hold TXW, we can listen to the frequency that I would transmit on. Then release the TXW button and it goes back to normal operation. Different amateur bands can be selected in different VFOs, so you can do crossband operation as well. A very useful feature is the quick split function. I'll try and demonstrate it. We're in normal mode where VFO-A is for receive and transmit, no split at all. And the station's calling and is from some far-flung place and everyone in the world is trying to talk to him, and he's saying up 5. So he's giving his call sign, he's saying up 5. If you hold down split, instead of just pressing it, hold it down for 1 second, the radio automatically applies a 5 kHz offset to VFO-B and puts you in split mode. So my receive frequency is 7.147, that's where the station will be calling, and I would transmit on 7.152. Very useful. If I hold split again, it increases the offset by 5 kHz, and each time I hold split it increases the frequency. And of course, to come out of split you just press split momentarily. If I press split again and go back into split frequency mode, the offset is still there. That 5 kHz incrementation can be changed by going into the menu and menu item 35, quick split frequency. If I select that, you can select a split between -20 and +20 kHz. So if I set it to -10, say, and I hold down split, it will decrement the offset by 10 kHz each time I press the split button for 1 second. For some unknown reason, you can also select a 0 kHz split frequency, but I don't know why that is. The default is 5 kHz and is quite useful. A final note, just to look at the spectrum scope, you can see lots of activity there this evening on 40 meters. Very nice to see. For just a quick split, you see that the red and green flags and lines have moved. Just step up that quick split, they are actually moving apart. I can tune VFO-B by using the VFO-B and clarifier knob, and it will increase ever so slightly in these very small increments. And if I just swap them over, swap the VFOs over, I can increase that like so, and yeah, pressing AB will swap the frequencies over like so. So it can be seen graphically on the spectrum scope if you need to do that. So you can, as you tune, the two frequencies come apart. The two frequencies adjust like so. The strange button that I did not cover earlier, which I should have done, is the A=B button. So I've come out of split just for the time being. So VFO-A is 7.158. So if I press A=B, then it sets VFO-B to the frequency of VFO-A. Surely if it says A=B, then VFO-A should be made equal to the VFO-B frequency. Maybe the button should be marked B=A. I don't know, but that's just me. So yeah, that's the way of making the two VFOs the same frequency. So we tune that. You can swap between the VFOs by pressing A/B. And press A=B, and they both end up being the same frequency. It's now the daytime, and I've found a station that's operating split frequency on 21260. The station JW2T is transmitting on 21260. I've just spoken to this station actually. It's a very good signal at the moment. I pressed and held split to activate the quick split function. So I'm on 21265. He's listening 5 to 10 kHz higher than his transmit frequency. So he's listening between 21265 and 21270. So I used the split frequency quick split facility to take me to 21265 on VFO-B, which is the transmit frequency. And then I adjusted it using the CLAR VFO-B, the clarifier VFO-B knob, and I adjusted mine to 2126665 because that was a clear frequency at the time. So if I were to press the PTT button, the radio would transmit on 2126665. And we'll just listen to this at the moment, and I'll press TXW to monitor the transmit frequency, which is VFO-B, which is useful to see how much activity is on the frequency that you intend to transmit on. If there's a load of activity on there, in this situation you might as well tune to a different frequency and try there. to be heard better. Some people don't understand what up 5 to 10 means, and so they are trying to call the station on 21260. They're obviously not listening or just don't understand. Or don't know how to use their radio. Who knows? And just holding TXW, that's what's going on 212665. Release. And there's JW2T. He's found a station to talk to, and he's now talking to that station. Press TXW, and that's what's going on 212665. I can alter that. I'll try 21268. Lots of activity on there. So it's perhaps best not to transmit on that frequency. Some strong stations there to compete with. Well, unless you want to compete with strong stations, that's entirely up to you. Let's go up to 21270 on the transmit side and monitor that. There's strong station in Spain there, and JW2T has just picked him out, so that's quite nice. You can swap the VFOs over, A/B. And yeah, that's pretty much that.